Hello and welcome to Cody's Radio Workshop. On the bench today we've got the Pye 1172. This was a cheap purchase, doesn't work, and cosmetically it needs a little bit of attention. Somebody's put historically they've put some sellotape on there to hold the battery door closed, but there's one tab that is still there and one that's missing. But the battery cover is still nice and secure actually. The foam on the inside, quite nice, it's not rotted away. So yeah, we need to have a look. So we'll start by taking apart the radio. Haven't got the schematic for this as yet. That may be following shortly depending on what we find inside. I just want a quick sneaky peek on the inside to see what we've got and what potentially we might be up against. If I can get that screw out, I believe that this should come apart, because it is just the two screws. Obviously I'll have to be careful because I don't want to damage any speaker connections. Literally, I'm just prizing that apart. It has had some sort of fluid ingress, and that's what was holding it at the top there. I can see the rust which has leaked all around the side of the case there. But just looking at the board itself, it doesn't look bad at all. Got some transistors there. We've got a dome on the top of one of the caps. The other ones seem okay. So we need to get this further apart now so that we can get to it and change the necessaries like the caps. Possibly have to check and change the resistors, although they are quite modern actually, so they should perhaps still be within spec. But we've got another cap over here. There's just a small dome on that one there, but the rest of it looks okay. The battery connections, which I was a little bothered about, seem to be properly made to the board. But yeah, let's take it apart a little bit further and see. So I'll just pop those screws in that pot. Expensive pot that, for keeping the bits and pieces in. So I hope everybody's keeping okay. It's a strange old world out there at the moment. There's rules for this, rules for that, and rules for the other, and nobody fully understands them. Right. So we've now got that open, and just looking at the inside of there, doesn't look to be any obvious damage on there. A little bit of liquid on that top corner there where my thumb is, but that should clean off. The rest of that on first glance looks okay. Now one thing that I should probably do is just rest the radio back down onto that tuning wheel. If it will. I should turn the tuner all the way to one of the extremities so I know which orientation it should be in when we come to put it back together. So that is all the way to the right, and this is top to bottom, and there's a red mark indicating the top. Right, so I need to get some soldering and desoldering done, so I will be back in one moment. So here we are at the next bit, and what I'm going to do now is just disconnect the speaker. I don't need the desolderer for this, I can just heat it up using the soldering iron itself and just detach the wires. There we go, that's that job done. And now obviously we can remove that part of the radio that's got the speaker and the tuning wheel inside. Is that glued in, or is that just pressure fit? If the speaker's just pressure fit, I might actually remove all of this and just send this for a blooming good bath, because it is kind of dirty and full of all sorts of nasties. So just for the moment we'll pop it on one side and concentrate on the actual radio itself. So I will, let's have a look, can I disconnect? Yeah, I should be able to heat up and disconnect that from the battery wire as well, from the battery connector, sorry. So that's that one. And that side doesn't want to heat up. There we go. There we go, it's off. Now one thing that I will do, I mean I know it's pretty obvious, but I still do it anyway, is just mark that side so that I know that that side's positive. It's just a handy reference for when I'm putting it back together. I mean, it is quite obvious, and again this could do with a bath as well, but I'm just worried that I might remove the original label. Now, talking about labels, it actually has a teeny tiny schematic which is absolutely useless. That's degraded over time, but it's got a teeny tiny schematic inside it. How you would see that? Well, definitely with my failing eyes I couldn't see that, so I'm glad that I do have a PDF copy of it and I will be able to refer to that. So now I'm just going to recapacitate and check the ones that we've removed. See if I can find some interesting music for you to listen to whilst I do that. So there we are, we've recapacitated the board, and I'm now going to check the capacitors that I've removed. Start with the crusty one first, which should be 330. There's 467 and a 220. Which is 282, 10. Open circuit. Open circuit. And this one is a 33. And there's 36 with 2.8 ESR. There's a 4.7. It's 5.02. This one is a 100. And there's 120. And I think that's the... Make sure we've got 4.5 volts. And turn on the output.
Couple of weeks we've had one, such as hiring someone who can make an impact. Indeed helps you find high impact hires fast without any long-term commitment.
That's brilliant. That has solved the problem. It now powers on, tunes in. Quite happy with that. for the time being, I'm just going to pop that back together. And guess who forgot to connect the speaker wires to the speaker before he screwed the board back in. Right, shall we try again? This should. So let's have a try now. This is the big moment.
And do you that?
Copyright free music.
Now, more of the music we know you love.
Just put yourself in the position you weren't there at the start of the year, despite how tough it's been for all of us, including myself. Yeah, that's a really interesting tip, that, having a target for the day.
So there we go. That is the Pye 1172 repaired into a working order. It will need a bit of a polish up, but I can tend to that another time. But it's been great to get back to it, and I'm glad to be back on the tube. There will be more to come. Keep your eyes peeled. I don't know when. I am busy doing all sorts of things at the moment, and COVID isn't helping anything at all. It's restricting certain things that I can and can't do. But yeah, keep yourself safe. I'll keep myself as safe as I can, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.